Zoom in. Legacy game.
What is his legacy?
Legacy game for Mac Jones.
What is his legacy? Throwing picks?
Picks were in 2008, and we're not. We suck. We suck. Genuinely, we're garbage. We are trash. It's fraudulent. Fraudulent.
Supposed to be Lamar last week. It could have been so.
Beautiful intro. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Welcome in to the sports show. I'm Richie. Joining me to my left is always Elgin Lopez, Chantz, Segowowski.
How about them Dolphins, baby?
Yeah,
That
so
Kincaid jersey's gonna look nice on you, man.
we are fresh off of week 2 of the NFL season. And it was a big week. A lot of upsets this week, including one that, me and Chance made a bet on, which
Not enough.
next time you see me, I'll be wearing a Buffalo Bills jersey. I never thought I'd be saying those words. But the Dolphins lost to the Bills. The Patriots played a really close game but lost to Seattle. But week 2 was overall a very impressive week. Let's start off with some of the underperforming teams. Elgin, tell us a little bit about the teams that didn't cut it in week 2.
All right, so this week, I bet the worst team this week was 100% the Panthers. The Panthers just look super pathetic, and then they made a decision this week that I think is not going to help one slate, but they decided to give the edge to Andy Dalton and him start week 3. Unfortunately, Bryce Young, I think he's the better option right now. You're killing his confidence by all right, you're killing your confidence with Bryce Young when you're not starting him, and I just honestly believe. I know they played the Chargers. The Chargers looked, they beat the Panthers. There's nothing too excited about, but there's nothing going on. Like Bryce Young looks lost, and it's just, honestly, Dave Canales, I don't know what's going on in that front office, but I just don't I don't think going in next week is starting Andy Dalton.
I was originally the first person that was like, I thought it was very dumb to start Bryce Young right out the gate when he got drafted. I thought they should have sat him so he could get experience like they're doing with Felix and Kirk Cousins. How Felix is watching Kirk. I felt like they should have tried like imaging what they're doing with Bryce Young. And I think now it's almost like now Bryce Young's not going to think he's good enough. Just like what Justin Fields happened, it just took a year for him to catch back up, and now he's starting for the Steelers. But I feel like the same thing's going to happen. So we rewind, and Bryce Young wasn't even doing that bad. He was doing bad, but you've seen a glimpse of potential there.
Yeah,
and that's what I was thinking the entire thing. I just thought it was dumb.
I think my personal thoughts behind the benching, I think it's a little unnecessary because if you're a team, you're heading into Carolina, you're not going to make the playoffs this year. I think you started the year off knowing that. You knew that this was not going to be a big win season. I think you take this year and you let Bryce Young play out the struggles. You let him get experience as a starting quarterback. So when you build a good enough team around him to compete, you have a quarterback who has experience playing in the NFL. Because if you have Bryce Young, let's say he has two, not too great, but, all right years under his belt. Let's say he plays out this year and he fixes the mistakes. He played against 2 solidly tough defenses right off the bat. We saw what New Orleans did to Dallas just this couple days ago, and then the Chargers have never had a weak defense. So I think it's too early to bench him. I think if he were to perform in week 3, then you go for the benching. But even then, what are you going to gain from starting Andy Dalton? Andy Dalton's not going to put you in that much of a better position. We saw it with them last year. So
I just don't understand it. Why? What is the point of putting them? Do they really see expectations of them winning 6-7 games?
Yeah, exactly. It's just I just don't understand the reason behind it. Unless they have a belief in that building, hey, we have a playoff team, we can make the playoffs with this team, which they can't. They probably won't.
I don't. It's crazy.
It is truly awful. But there is a report that I saw earlier this morning that Dave Canales has not said anything about the benching quite yet, which their head coach has not said anything. And Dave Canales has been on record saying that Bryce Young is the quarterback. He is our guy. But it's only been 2 weeks, and I just think it's way too. I know they've scored a total combined of 13 points and have allowed already over 60 points, but it's just. I just think I agree with both of you guys. It's way too early. Honestly, if I saw this week 5, if this continued till week 5, sure, I'd go with Andy Dalton. But, it's only week 2. I don't think a benching's needed right now.
I
I'll put
agree.
it to the perspective of like this. Just like Tua, just like Josh Allen. We let it play out and look how they've been performing.
Exactly.
Josh Allen looked terrible his first year.
He was really
He was
right.
horrendous. But did the Bills stop that? No, they continued. They gave him weapons. It took 2 years before he made the playoffs because we had to get a good team around him. Same thing they should have been doing.
Exactly, I agree. All right, so as we talked about that, there were some teams that underperformed, and there were some players that maybe we didn't expect to do so great that did good. So this segment is brought to you by the Costco guys. This is boom or bust. So we're going to go over some players that we thought had a boom week 2 and some players who had a bust week 2. I'm going to get it started off with a player that has a boom first 2 weeks of the season, a quarterback that no one expected to do good, and I'm going to go with Sam Darnold of the Minnesota Vikings. This guy just is coming off a win against one of the best defenses in the league, and he had one of the best touchdown passes I think I've ever seen him make in his career, and any quarterback in the league could make that throw, and that was a tough throw to make, and that's a really good start for Sam Darnold. I mean, week 1 was against the Giants, and there could be some overreactions there, but to come out and perform really well against San Francisco, I feel like we're knocking on Carolina a lot, but free him from that, and now he's a better quarterback. Free him from that terrible system he was in. His head coach was Adam Gase in New York, so now here he is,
I always
solid
thought he had
team around him.
potential.
And yes, this is the thing. He had a lot of potential in New York. He played okay in New York. He
just saw
underperformed a lot.
ghosts.
But right now, exactly, he saw the ghost. But right now, he doesn't look like a bad quarterback, and he looks like a suitable starter in this league. So that's my first boom.
My first boom this week is definitely Derek Carr. This guy has blown me out of the water this season.
Took yours, Chantz?
Derek. There's another Saints player that I could give.
No,
I could
I
give
got
another
him. I
boom
got
for
him.
Saints player.
I had that
But-
guy too.
I got him.
So, and I'll be honest with you, man. The Cowboys and Saints game, I think it told more about the Saints than the Cowboys. I think the Saints are absolutely. By the way, last time the Saints scored over 90 points, they won the Super Bowl in the first 2 weeks. They have yet to punt. The Saints have yet to punt. They have thrown one interception, but that was in garbage time against the Panthers.
I think Derek threw one last week too.
He threw one against the Cowboys.
I think
one.
so.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Like, they've not punted yet. 15 straight drives of scoring. 15 guys.
It's insane.
15.
And
no one's stopping the Derek Carr train. And guess what? I think it's this. They got a new offensive coordinator this year.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I think that's what's got them going right now. I don't know if you have to be that bad of an offensive coordinator. Goodness gracious, they're opening up the playbook for Derek Carr. Alvin Kamara is back to 2017 version now. It is. I'm on the Saints hype train right now.
All right, my boom. All right, I'll say Alvin Kamara only because this dude looks like he's in his prime. Like, we thought his prime was like 2 or 3 years ago when he was going to say, no, this looks like his prime. You look at it, bro. Really, like, no other running back is competing with him in my opinion. I don't think I can name another running back that's doing as good or nearly as good as him.
To start this season,
yes.
I could agree. I mean,
It's insane.
Devon A. Chain's not doing bad.
He's not doing bad,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, Kamara's just on a different level right now. And the Saints was a team that I picked, if you guys remember, to be the worst team in the league this year. I thought they were going to,
oh, you did?
I did.
I
I thought
did
they were
as
going to
well.
really did underperform. So, Saints fans, I apologize. They're back. So, let's kind of bounce over to our next boom player. This is one I don't think this was a guy I talked about earlier in the season in our preseason talk about a player that I think needed to step up. And he has so far. Last week, he caught 2 touchdowns. That's Quentin Johnston of the Chargers. Now, yes, they're playing the Panthers. I mean, that's always might put a little asterisk on it, but he looked competent. He looked like a good number 1 wide receiver. He had 5 catches, over 60 yards, 2 of them being for touchdowns. It was a good performance, and the Chargers, who offense did look a little bit shaky in that week 1 game against the Raiders, all they need is someone to step up and be a true number 1, be what Keenan Allen was. And I think Quentin Johnston has the potential to be that guy, and he showed it in week 2.
My next boom player is going to be Kirk Cousins.
Good
Wow.
choice.
Kirk Cousins really he was honestly that first week really got me thinking, are the Falcons really that team this year? And what did they do? They shocked me on Monday Night Football by beating the Eagles.
Kirk Cousins
That
was
was
one of my
Even though the Eagles did shoot themselves in the foot, I do think that the Falcons just they showed what they can do, and I believe Kirk Cousins.
Mhm.
I still think Kirk Cousins is a great. I think he's a top 15, maybe potentially top 10 quarterback. Still, I think he's still got it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I believe that they have some division games coming up soon. They have the Saints and the Bucks.
gonna be
That would be the
interesting.
real test for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they play Kansas City this week on Sunday night.
They do. They
That's
play
true.
Kansas
That's gonna
City.
be- oh my goodness, a really good game.
Yeah. Hopefully, are they in Do you know if they're in Kansas City this week?
I'm
I thought-
not sure.
I'm
I
not
could go
exactly
check
sure.
real quick.
If
Keep going.
they're in Kansas City, sorry Falcons, home field advantage for them is a real thing. It's called having a guy in a,
Referees.
it's called having a referee and Taylor Swift on your sideline.
That game is going to be in Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta,
You have a
okay.
chance.
We have-
So they don't have to deal with what the Dolphins did
Mhm.
in that playoff game.
Yeah.
So my next boom, I mean, you could call it biasy, but it's Josh Allen. I look at this offseason, he got called overrated, the most overrated quarterback in the NFL. He has lost every piece you could think of. Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs. He lost defensive pieces. We weren't supposed to be competing or number one in the division. Obviously, they're going to still say we are because we've had it for 4 years. But we shouldn't have had it, yet we're winning. And Josh Allen hasn't thrown a pick. That's a
Insane.
big. He has not thrown an interception yet. Like, that has to be recognized. So,
Yeah, that's true. One last boom player. I think we're doing 3 each. This is just a little bonus one. Just a guy that I think did perform in week 2 after having a very lackluster week 1. And that's Marvin Harrison Jr. I think
oh yeah,
he had a really good bounce back game. Amazing first half it was against the Rams and the Cardinals, which I think all of us had high hopes for the Cardinals this year, even to be better than what a lot of people thought they were. And they put belt to butt against the Rams. Like, they looked really good against LA, a playoff team from last
a
year.
playoff team indeed.
To be fair, in LA's version, they are having an injury crisis right now. They don't have Cup nor Puka Nakua.
I mean, you still give up 41 points to
Yeah,
the Cardinals.
you could
I mean,
get-
they did put up a good amount of points against
They
Buffalo week
competed
1,
with
so
us,
that's a
yeah.
solid offense.
And I'm gonna go with a bust player this year. My bust player of the week, man, it's gotta be what's his name, Johnson from the Eagles, Gardner Johnson.
Oh,
He, in the last 3 weeks, has been atrocious. I as someone who watched the Monday night game in my deathbed, I will tell you this. He missed a wide open tackle against Darrell Mooney,
Yep.
and I'll be honest with you, that's you can't do that as a safety. You cannot do that.
No, you
And
can't.
and he's apparently the best tackling safety in the league. He has not done well. He's being cooked on every route. I ultimately believe that he's costing the Eagles games, and I know the Eagles traded quite a bit for him and paid him quite a bit. So I just think they really need to focus, lock in, and they need to lock in.
Mm.
He needs to lock in. Hopefully, he bounces back week 4. But that's my bust player right now.
I also think the biggest thing people were saying is that the Eagles' defense was going to be the problem for them. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I heard that. I'm going to have another boom, and he's also a Cardinal. And like I said, when he's coming back, he's going to be back, and he's going to be good, and that's Kyler Murray.
I agreed.
He looks amazing. He has his confidence back. It's going to be scary. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep, I believe Kyler is a top 10 quarterback in this league, and that's a agenda that our former co-host Matt helped really recognize for me. I think Kyler Murray is definitely a solid quarterback in this league. So now we're going to move on to the bust. I know Elgin did his. My first bust isn't a particular player, more like a group of players, and they're not busts for life, just to start the season. That's going to be the first-round rookie quarterbacks from this year's draft. Caleb Williams yet to throw a touchdown. The best-looking one so far is Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
He's yet to throw a touchdown. Drake May, unfortunately, no playing time. But he might have, if he were to play, he might be the most successful one out of them so far. But also, Michael Penix has yet to play, and
Bo Nix.
McCarthy's
Bo
injured,
Nix
so-
has yet no passing touchdowns from the first-round rookie quarterbacks this year.
Bo Nix, I thought threw one. No?
He ran one against
Ran
Seattle.
one. Gotcha.
They've
So
only
no
had
passing
rushing
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
And they all seem to struggle so far. Jaden Daniels is the only one with a victory so far, and that was a game where they put up no offensive touchdowns.
They kicked field goals.
Yeah, 7 field goals to beat the Giants. Caleb Williams, we've seen his struggles so far. And they're all guys, I think they're going to snap back. I think they're going to lock in. But so
Yeah.
far, in these first 2 weeks, nothing really showing. When we looked at the rookie quarterbacks of last year, we saw, right away, okay, there might be some promise here.
All right. And then
Who were some of the rookie quarterbacks who played really well last year? Like, even Bryce Young had a touchdown in week 1.
C.J. Stroud.
Yeah,
that was
Stroud.
a promising one.
I mean, he didn't even throw a touchdown in week 1, but he still looked solid around that point.
But
of the
he was
year.
making the offense brighter.
Yeah, he was definitely pushing that offense.
Did you not see so DJ Moore? Did you not see the problem that's happening there?
Yeah, wasn't he talking about?
He's pretty much saying like, I still don't understand why they traded Justin Fields.
Yeah, I mean that's still a questionable move, but when you have a guy like Caleb Williams sitting there, that's a prospect. Like we can't pass
Marvin
on him.
Harrison though.
Yeah,
Could've-
could you imagine Marvin Harrison in that offense?
With Justin Fields.
I mean,
That's a loophole. And then for my bust player, my next one, Anthony Richardson. I can protest this because
I'm
I
glad
had him in
somebody said that.
fantasy.
I'm glad somebody said that.
Yeah.
I had him in fantasy. What happened, Anthony Richardson? 3 interceptions, 4 points. Really? You cost me this week. I'm very upset with you.
That whole Colts team struggled against the Packers team.
And
that's without the
I think
quarterback.
this
is
game
crazy.
really explained that Richardson has the potential to be he has the build, everything. He has everything to be so good. Like he screams Cam Newton still to me. Screams prime Cam Newton. But it's like I'll just say this though. Anthony Richardson, ouch performance against a Jordan Loveless Packers team. Ouch. Like 3 interceptions. I think this game really showed his weaknesses.
Yeah.
He is his arm strength his accuracy struggled. Definitely he had some in college. By the way, little did you guys know, that was his 18th game ever starting from college all the way to NFL. 18th start.
Can I comment in on something about him?
Yeah.
You do realize he is coming back from injury, right?
I understand that, but it's a little crazy. He didn't play much in college. He played 15 games in
It
college.
was an arm injury too. It's gonna affect him.
Yeah, but it's still you're in the NFL. It's a business, you know. You got to perform when you got to perform, and I understand that. But Anthony Richardson, man, his 8. I honestly, I know I'm bashing him pretty bad, but I think he'll bounce back next week. His first game this season was a classic game, game of the year candidate, to be honest with you. But I'm just gonna say Anthony Richardson really needs to pick up the pace. That's my take on that.
I think he will. I mean, that's a guy that his lack of a rookie year,
Yeah.
that kind of could
Alter
perfect
his.
that performance. Yeah, but I think he's going to be okay.
I think he's gonna be okay too. See, I was debating between this one because I feel like there's 2 players to which I could have said, and I'm gonna say this one only because you guys gave me this perspective. Trevor Lawrence. I really feel like he is not performing in a sense that he needs to be performing in. I remember when he was supposed to be a really good prospect, yada yada. I mean, in all fairness, he is starting to look like Daniel Jones. And you guys could say what you want, but he is not looking good. And that's just all I have to say about that.
Can I comment on Trevor Lawrence? Here's the thing, though. Trevor Lawrence is playing a lot better than Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones got a massive contract for only throwing 15 touchdowns. Can I get that?
I'm not saying he is there yet. I'm saying he's getting
Listen,
there.
I could. I'm gonna go try out for the Giants quarterback position.
Go
They
do
need
it.
somebody out
Go
there.
do
They
it.
got Tommy DeVito.
All right, up next now, a guy I was thinking about on the bust list was a guy that we spent the first portion of our show talking about is Bryce Young. So I think it's just his whole situation is a bust right now. Getting benched, playing. I mean, yes, we could say he's not in a good situation. He threw 84 passing yards. He threw 20 in the first half against the Chargers. Like it gets to a point where it's like maybe this isn't the worst decision. I think it's still a little bit premature to bench him, but he hasn't been doing anything to help his case.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have confidence out there, which is not his fault, but that's just not a good look. But we did spend a lot of time talking about him, so I'm going to go to my next bust. I don't know if you guys had him on the list, and it feels rough to put him here, but before he got hurt, Tua was looking rough.
Yeah.
He was making okay throws, and I think Tua's performance, he threw 3 picks. One of them was the worst pick I think I've ever seen him throw, was that weird
He was trying to
pick
throw
six.
it away.
I don't know what that was. The first 2, I don't believe were his fault at all. The second one, maybe a little bit, but
The first one was off the.
I think they
receiver's
were
hands,
because why are
yeah.
you throwing it to Robbie Chosen, and then why are you throwing it to Grant Dubose? I have no clue Grant Dubose was on this team. I don't
I
know
didn't
who
even know
he
Robbie
was.
Chosen was.
Yeah, Robbie Chosen. What is he still doing here? They cut him yesterday.
Did they?
Yes, get out of here. It's
Good.
terrible.
Well, it
But
shows
my
you.
thing with Tua's performance in week 2, and I'm going to take this opportunity to bash on this team. You have the pieces. You have Tyreek Hill. You have Jalen Waddle. And why are we force-feeding an injured Devon Achane the ball? Which I get it. He's a playmaker, and he made some plays. But throw the ball to the guys you're paying all this money to.
Can I add on
You
something?
can't. No, I'm joking. Go for it.
We lost the best nickel corner.
Yeah. You guys had an
and
injured
we
safety.
lost our second linebacker. So we didn't have any. We had third and fourth string linebackers out there, and we had a third string corner.
It was terrible. It was terrible. It just I think it's Mike McDaniel's fault that game. I don't know why Tua would run head first into Jamar Hamlin because one of them wasn't going to get up after that impact. But he wasn't playing a bright game up until then, and I think a lot of it was the coaching.
Do you think it's like confidence now?
I think he has the confidence. I think when he
Like
throws
the
picks, he has
perspective, I'm
confidence.
saying. Like, do you think it's a perspective that since the narrative is that you guys can't beat us, it's in his head?
It could be. I think that's why the game plan looked the way it did because it started off that way against Jacksonville. And then coming out of halftime, we opened up the playbook.
Yeah.
Not once did we open up that playbook. In a drive where we were down, I think, 10 to you guys or 13 heading into halftime, we put up a touchdown. It's a whole different game coming.
It is a whole different
And
game.
we played conservative safety, run the ball for a field goal. It was ridiculous, and I hope Tua bounces back. I definitely am praying for Tua, and
we are.
that'll be a whole different conversation whether he comes back or not.
like
We'll
to-
talk about that later.
I would like to add something. Tyler Huntley is now your starting quarterback, probably.
pro.
For
He's not our starting quarterback. We're starting Skylar Thompson, which
You're not
shoot me.
starting Tyler Huntley?
We're not. No, we're
What?
not starting the Pro Bowler. No, we're starting Skylar Thompson.
Whoa, that Pro Bowl's
Okay.
a little.
I know, I'm
To be
joking,
fair, I can understand that only because he's been around the playbook a little bit longer.
Yeah,
So I'm not gonna fight that narrative.
Skylar has
too
more
much.
passing touchdowns for us in a playoff game than.
Tua?
No, I think him and Tua have the same. He's got more than Tannehill, which is crazy, right?
Yeah, you're definitely gonna see Skylar Thompson in a couple of years. Skylar Thompson started a playoff game.
Yeah, he's gonna be a trivia answer in a couple
Jeez.
years.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you. They did sign Tyler Huntley, which was a great signing in my opinion. I think that's a good idea. I will tell you this though. Who do you guys play this week?
We play Seattle,
Seattle.
which I have confidence.
Seattle. We as a team that lost as my team who lost to them. I'll tell you this. I think we only lost because that stupid freaking Kyle Duggar. Why'd you leave your zone? Why is DK Metcalf wide open down the field?
That was so
That
funny.
is this is not funny.
That
No.
was so
That got me
funny.
genuinely mad. This got me infuriated when I was watching back this game. Why was he wide open?
Is that your
Why are we
fault?
leaving the biggest physical receiver in the league open? That is ridiculous. That is who Kyle Duggar. I know
Is that
Jabril
his
Peppers.
bus?
Hmm?
Is that your bus?
My bust right now. I'm furious. My bust right now is Kyle Duggar. He played absolutely awful. Christian Gonzalez, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought the secondary was a great secondary. I don't know. They just fell apart this week. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're okay, boss.
I'm so sorry.
Let it
Kyle Duggar, really, man? We just paid you, man, and you. We had every chance to win that game. Every chance to win this game. Unfortunately, I was busy at SeaWorld, then I went home and watched the highlights.
I was too at SeaWorld.
And let me tell you, you know how upset I was when I watched that game? There were so many Jacoby Brissett, by the way, this is not offensive problem. Offense looked great. Offense looked great this game. I will tell you this. Jacoby Brissett didn't throw it incompletion till the third quarter.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Neither did Geno Smith, but yeah. I'll tell you this though. I'm just gonna put Kyle Duggar as my bus player. That's all I'm
All
gonna
right.
say.
Chance, what do you got?
Man, I have to choose another quarterback. It's just because the 49ers, man. Brock Purdy, really? Like,
Mhm.
their backup running back looked more impressive than Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy's supposed to be the starting quarterback for the 49ers. It was the Raiders they lost to, right? Or
The
who
Vikings.
The Vikings, sorry. They lost to the Vikings, to which, in my opinion, the Vikings have pieces, but they don't have talent all around their entire team.
Yeah.
The 49ers, what are they missing? Yes, they might not have CMC, but they just had the backup running back put up, 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, Jordan
150
Mason
yards.
looks good. It's
Exactly.
not a running back issue at all.
So, I mean, that's all Brock Purdy's fault. The defense even looked solid last game. That's Brock Purdy's fault. I see him as this week's bust.
To bring something in, Brock Purdy also lost to the Vikings last year.
Yeah, that was a Monday night game, wasn't it? Okay, I thought when I was talking about it with you guys last week when we were predicting.
He lost to the Bengals and the Vikings actually.
Yeah, those were the only two he lost.
I think then he lost a.
Well, they lost to
I have another bust now that we're.
Oh wait.
Joe Burrow.
yeah, Burrow did.
Actually,
Where is Burrow?
Actually, I'm not gonna.
Jamar
give it-
Chase was the bust because what are you arguing with the ref for?
No, but Joe Burrow, he has not looked. He just has not looked
I
impressive.
mean, that's just early season Bengals. I think they're gonna be okay.
All right, but you remember how he was supposed to be better than Josh Allen? Does he really look better than Josh Allen?
Not right now, no.
We're 2 games in. It's a sample size.
I would like to say though that I did see a take this week about Joe Burrow that I particularly didn't like. He said, "Man, why are we treating Joe Burrow as he's a top 5 quarterback when he's been playing pretty awful?" And they brought up they brought up really
I disagree
nitpicky
with that.
stats. They said he's 5-7 the last few games, and I'm like, I'll tell you this though. I will tell you this. It has been he is behind a line that will let anybody through.
Yeah.
They have done, and I'm gonna say to the Bengals front office, they have done. I feel like they have tried everything to bolster up that line, and nothing has happened for it.
I think offensive line in general for teams right now is a big weakness because you look at teams that are, supposed to be good. Cleveland's O-line is not that great. Miami's
No.
O-line is not that great. Baltimore's O-line is really rough looking. right
Cardinals were supposed to have pretty good O-line, and then that's
now. Yeah, and then Kyler's
Happy.
running for his life,
Yeah.
but he makes it happen. That's just how he operates.
yeah.
It's just the,
O-line itself right now is weak, but especially in Cincinnati's
It's
case, when
just-
when you're putting money in, it shouldn't be that weak.
But honestly, the Bengals do get easy. I think their road right now is a little easier right now for now. But
Yeah.
I'm honestly not too worried about Cincinnati right now. They still played a great game against Kansas City. Unfortunately, that pass interference definitely one of the more 50-50. I don't know if I would have called it if I was a ref. I don't know. It's the final seconds of the game. I don't know if I would have called that. I know you're not supposed to hit him, but I don't think he was. I think he was just going for the ball. I don't think it was really pass interference on that last call. So
I mean, if he arrived early, he arrived early, but I
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah, I see Joe Burrow, and I just
I could see both sides of that penalty.
I think we seen him when he beat the Bills, and I think it was a divisional when the Bengals beat us, and
Yeah.
he did it himself is the best way to put it. He put the ball where the receiver physically couldn't drop it. Like that's the type. But in the game I seen this week, yes, it was a close score against the Chiefs. I'm not saying that he didn't play good. I'm saying he didn't play to the level that we're expecting him to play in. And yes, it's
Yeah,
a small
I agree.
sample size. I'm not going to lie. He could be him in the next 4 weeks. Who knows? But as of right now, I just feel like he looks like trash.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, 18-game season, of course. Now, before we get out of here, just something I did want to talk about, and I want to take it back to both the Dolphins and the Bills, is a little bit more of a serious topic. But so we know the injury Tua sustained. He sustained a rough
Yeah.
concussion, the 4th of his career now. The second, this was very similar to the one he suffered against Cincinnati, where, he went out and he lost
Arm
control of his
locked,
hands.
yeah.
It was bad. So
That's actually
Yeah.
the hardest
it's
thing.
rough.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you guys talk about this, and the question is, do you think he should retire? Now,
Look, I see this, and it should be the most simple. Family in your life comes before football, and he already signed that contract, so he isn't gonna get hurt by retiring. He's still gonna have money. He's gonna be able to take care of his family well. He should retire. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that in a sense as a Bills fan. I thought he's a really good quarterback, and this is me not being biased. I like Tua. He's a great quarterback, but when it comes to health, it's just too much now.
yeah,
It's
I mean,
injury after concussion after concussion after concussion. This is his 4th or 5th one now?
4th in a 4-year career.
He's 26. He has so much life left, man.
It's
And
scary, yeah.
It's almost as scary as a DeMar situation. DeMar Hamlin should have retired too, but luckily he didn't, and he's playing well.
I would like to say this about Tua. He needs to learn how to slide. There
I
is
don't
no
think that
way
can
you
even
should be
fix
going
it.
head first into a defender.
Yeah, that
I
was
think-
a little bit of. I think that was kind of heat of the moment. He wanted to pick up the first.
I think
But-
you really need to start protecting. I know he needs to be taught how to slide because each time he's had a concussion, I've never seen Tua really slide.
The guardian cap. If he doesn't, he
I
has
think
to win.
Tua
I
should
agree.
be one of the few players that has a guardian cap.
I think it should kind of be.
and I will
required.
say this: if he gets another concussion, I think he needs to hang it up.
I think he needs to hit it up now.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think he's gonna play until at least week 10 for y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I just can't see you guys playing him this early.
Yeah.
It's scary. I don't know. I just find it. If I was in this perspective, I would want him as a fan to retire just for his safety.
Yeah, so I'm in that situation right now. I'm a Dolphins fan. As a fan of the team, he's the best quarterback we've had probably in my lifetime. I would like him to come back and play because I know he gives us a chance to win games. But as a human being, as someone who has followed Tua through his professional career, it's rough to see because even when you look at the first one he had, him coming back, there's the retirement speculations, but where he was then in life to where he is now, he wasn't married then, he is now. He didn't have any kids then, he does now. He didn't have the contract where he does right now. He has it all set where he's 27 or 26 years old.
He's set for life.
No one
now.
would really be mad at him for ending his career right now.
I think people would be happy, not mad.
I think it would be a little bit it would
Fan perspective?
bittersweet, but if you look at it as a human being, if you have feelings as a human being, like a compassionate person, you would want him to stop doing this because he has young kids, he has a wife, he has everything going for him, he has the money, he has everything except the football career, which he's had a good one up until this point. He's made Pro Bowls. He was the first Dolphins quarterback to make a Pro Bowl since Dan Marino. So I think as a person, I would like him to retire. As a fan, I understand why he's not, and it's going to be scary watching him play when he does come back. I think when he does, because he said he doesn't plan on retiring or he has no interest in it, he should wear the Guardian cap. 1,000%. And he should learn how to slide.
I don't even think he should run.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Honest.
Why even come back to play if you're going to minimalize yourself, That's why I think he should retire.
At this point, he is minimizing himself in general.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Antonio Brown for crying out loud. Look what getting concussion after hit did. He's legit running a CTE podcast thing for himself.
And you see the guy's Twitter? It's crazy.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying. Tua, you were still smart. You still have everything going for you. You could even be an offensive coordinator. You have so much planned for your life.
I agree.
You have his kids are so adorable. I love their little curly heads. But he has these adorable kids. He has a wife. You have everything going for you. Why play, man? I understand football is your life. You tried so hard. You worked for so hard. You got the contract though. You played 6 good years of football. I think it's time you hang it up. Maybe you try playing or doing a different football offensive coordinator type thing in your entire life.
Even commentary
Tom Brady.
Not Tom Brady. Tom Brady played a whole career, but Monty Teo, you guys remember him?
I do.
The whole girlfriend scandal thing.
Yeah.
But he's right now. I'm seeing him on everything as a analyst and on ESPN and NFL Network and stuff. Do something like that. Tua's a smart guy. Listen to him talk. He's a smart guy.
And I'm gonna say this about Tua. I don't honestly, as a Patriots fan, I always dog on him, but he's definitely. Listen, as a Patriots fan, it is. I hope he's better. I hope he gets better, but this is a league. CTE is a huge problem in this league, a very big problem. It has caused a lot of players to not make it far after retirement. He really needs to put in perspective. He's only 26, and this is his 4th concussion. And I want to bring up that Tua in college has an injury history.
Yeah.
He broke I believe he dislocated his hip in college.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was really bad. That's what actually plummeted his draft stock.
I think he would have been the first pick.
I just want to say it like this. As a fan, and even as a real life person, I want him to think about what could happen if he gets another. Yeah. He might not. He might get to the point where he's not going to remember his kids. He's not going to remember anything about it. Or he could stop now and have as good of a career as he did.
All right, well, I know it did get a little bit dark there, a little bit deep, but that's just the NFL. Things get like that. But I do want to thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode. We're going to talk about Week 3, our predictions, what we think is going to happen. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm Richie. Joining me as always, Chantz and Elgin. We'll see you guys next week. And I'll be
See you guys later.
For that. See you guys.
What is his legacy? Throwing picks?
Chiefs were in 2008, and we're not. We suck. We suck. Genuinely, we are trash. It's fraudulent. Fraudulent.
Supposed to be Lamar last week. It could have been so.